Cool. Hi there. So, very good evening and very good morning to you guys. And today we are in session number 5 of Python for Beginner course. And we are in the chapter named Data Structures. So, what we have dealt in the last session is basically a very important topic. That's the data types, the variables, the data types is very important thing for you to basically start becoming a programmer. And believe me, those data types like numeric or integer, string or text, and boolean, date, all of these data types are the same if you take any programming language. It is not just for Python. If you want to become a Scala developer later, if you want to become a JavaScript developer, if you want to become any other programming language developer, Ruby on Rails, even a shell script developer, these data types remain same. Okay. So similarly, there are very common data structures which are available across all the programming languages, even Java. Okay, so we are going to deal with important objects, that is nothing but data structures inside the memory. What are these data structures? That's what we are going to deal in the today's session. But as I have told you in the last session, probably it was too quick for the few of the beginners. So I'm going to take it a little slower today. Actually, the plan was to basically cover up all of these topics as per the plan well before. But let us do it a little slower. I'm okay if I are able to cover only these two topics as well today. Okay, so let us do that. Let's see how am I progressing and I'm clear or not, and then basis on that, let's take a call whether we are doing it right at a right speed or not. Okay, so I think from the last session, just to brush up, as I told you, we have dealt with the data types in the last session. We have understood how to create a variable in the PyCharm and how to read the data from the variable, how to print the variable value in different formats. So we have seen print by using plus as a separator or operator, and we have used with comma as a separator. And surprisingly, you need not use both. You can even use space, okay, which I did not even show you guys in the last session. You can basically try it out yourself. Okay, we have also seen how to print something on the screen using format as well, right? So all of these things we have done in the last session, and we have also seen what is a basic class or an object to create and how to run a function or a variable inside an object, right? And then we have also seen how to prompt inputs. And don't worry if prompt inputs is not that clear for you in the last session. We are going to use whatever in the process of me training the complete curriculum, whatever we will be covering in the past sessions, I'm going to help you reiterate the same thing in the following sessions. As you keep going through the sessions, you will feel that. Okay, I'll always try to reiterate what happened in the past with what you are learning in the current session. Okay, I'll try to do that best so that you recollect it and then you learn it better. Okay, so let's quickly start off with this list of the data structures that I have. We will start with very important data structure that will stick to you throughout the life of a Python programming. That is list. List is also called as array. Okay, in few of the programming languages, list is called as an array. All right, so now let me explain you what is first of all an array, or what is first of all a list. Okay, so I have the code ready for you on the screen, but I will be typing it, so that you also get to know how to type something, what is the difference in typing, etc. So we will do that anyway. But I have written everything on the screen just for my reference so that I don't forget covering few topics, right? As a process of me typing a code on the screen, I don't want to miss anything. All right. So first of all, let me define what is a list. List is also another variable actually, but the list is group of elements. List is nothing but group of values. List can be group of numbers. List can be group of text or a string variables. List can be group of dates. List can be group of both numbers and text. Anything. If you want to group few values into one variable, you can't do it in a direct variable. You have to either choose one of these data structures. It can be list, or it can be a dictionary, or it can be a tuple, or it can be a set. Okay, you can create these 4 different types of data structures inside your memory, and it is also a variable, but the variable type is not like you have seen in the last session. It will not be string, it will not be integer, it will not be date time, it will not be boolean. Instead, these types of these variables will be called as only list. Okay, so as I defined the value, or as I defined the definition of list, what is a list? It is just another variable that you can create inside your Python. Just say article underscore list, and it is nothing but group of values in it. So I can say 10, 20, 30, 40, just like I have here as well, but I'm typing it. But what is the syntax? Observe here carefully. Anything with the square braces is called, that is the syntax to create a list inside your Python variable, inside your Python kernel. Now if I execute this, just say command return. On the right hand side, let's see, it is still collecting the data. Is it like again a problem for me? Just like in the last time. Okay. All right, let me wait for a second just to see if it doesn't fail. I think it is always failing because I don't have an R interpreter. Okay, on my system I don't have R interpreter. I think that's the reason a lot of times it is hanging out. Okay, because it is not hanging, so let me actually go ahead. This particular console is not hanging for me, right? So let me assume that it is going fine, and then I also have an event log. I'm sorry for this. Let me delete this event. I don't think this is a problem, so I'll also close this event log. Okay, I think there is an issue on my console. Please wait. If I have to just kill it, it is not killing. Again, the same problem. So guys, give me 1 second. So I just say import OS. Okay, gone. So let me find out what is my activity monitor. Let me find out my PID of this Python. It is 23163. Let me go to my terminal and then I'll kill it. Kill -9 23163. So let me come back and check. Yeah, 23163 killed. Cool. I can see the message here, killed, right? So let me basically reload my Python console. So let me run this one. Now I think I should see. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now if you see here, you're automatically seeing this variable as what? The type is list. So what is a list? List is group of values, that's it. Now, a list can be of numeric data type. A list can be, you can have, I am saying list2, and I'm again, square braces is the one. I say hello, and then I say article, and then I say, right, class, and etc, etc. If I execute this, this is another variable created. It is also of type list. If you observe carefully in this console, I'm also getting some message along with the list. 4 in the sense, there are 4 elements inside this list. Okay, each and every value is termed as element. It is called element. That's the language. That's it. I mean, that's the way you call it as a Python programmer. Okay, but the second one, it has got a list of 3 elements. Hello is one element, article is another element, class is another element, right? Now you might be wondering, can I basically create a list with the combinations of both, right? There was a space here. So with a combination of both number and text, right? Let me copy paste all of this here, right? Can I create this? Yes, absolutely. So you have a list of 7 elements. It is a combination of numbers and as well as, text or a string. There is no problem at all. Now, why do I basically create a list, right? In the real world, you will be, directly getting, a bad requirement for sure. If you have to develop any Python program for any requirement in the market today, even at your work, I bet you won't write a program without creating a list. It becomes so important, right? Why will it become so important? When we deal with the projects, you will come to know, or when we go forward with the further topics, you will definitely know that I always keep using lists there. Okay, so that's the reason it is very important for you to understand list as much as possible. Now, I'm creating a list that is absolutely good. Can I have duplicate values inside a list? Right? For example, I already had 10 in the list. Can I again have 10 in the list like this? Will it allow? Absolutely, it allows. No problem at all. Now, this is the fourth list is basically having 8 elements in it. Now, in the variable panel, you are seeing it has got 8 elements. How do I know? By a command. There is a command called len. Inside the len, if you say the variable name, it will tell you what is the length of the variable. Now, if I execute this, see, the length of this variable is 7. That means there are 7 elements inside that list. And list is nothing but group of values, group of elements. Each element can be of any of the data type that we have discussed in the previous session. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, now the very important thing is how do you read the list? Okay, so let me come back here that I have. So how do you read a list? Okay, let me do it here itself. I'm sorry. How to read the elements in the list? For example, in this list, I only wanted to get the data of the fourth element. Okay, so how do I read it? How do I see it on the screen? Only the fourth element. First of all, how do I read the complete variable on the screen? So if I just say this, you anyway see exactly the same thing in the panel, or it is equivalent to what? Print command. Both are one and the same, right? As we know already. Okay. Now, if I wanted to see the fourth element of the list, see the beauty. This is what you have to basically understand as much as possible. In the braces, I just say 3. As soon as I say 3, you get the fourth element. See the beauty. Why? Let me explain after a few more commands. If I wanted to read sixth element in the complete list, what is the sixth element in the complete list? Hello. Okay. Here I have to say 7. Right? I'm sorry. There is a typo. There is no variable. Right. Now you see class. I'm sorry. Did I give 7? 1, 2, 3. Okay. 7 is what? 3, 5, 6. I think this is the one that you should get, right? Did I basically miss something? All right. So let me try again. So let me create this, and then let me print this. Why is it saying class? 1 second. Okay. I'm sorry. If I have to read the sixth element, so what is my sixth element? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm giving 7. That is absolutely fine. That is nothing but 8. I have to say 5. Cool. So I'm getting hello. So if I have to read, now you guys can basically get your answers on your own. If I have to read the first element, I have to give 0. So what does it mean? These 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the indexes. Index is nothing but the name given to a specific position in the list. So if I have to call position number 1, the index value is 0. Position number 2 is index value 1. Position 3 is index value 2, so on and so forth. So that's the reason when I say give me the 0th element of the list, it will give you the first element. If I have to tell you give me the 5th element of the list, right, I have to type in here as 4, right? So now let me type in here article list of 4, right? This is giving me this element, the 5th element. So how do you read a value, each element of a list? You basically have to use the index numbers of the list. Okay. Now these are the indexes. What is the important statement that I'm trying to say? Indexes of list starts with 0. It doesn't start with 1. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, etc. All right. Now you might be getting a need of how do I read from the first element to the fourth element. Okay. If that is your ask, this is a syntax. From the first element, that is nothing but 0, you have to read until the fourth element, right? Just say 5. You see, you get 5 here. This is the change that you need to remember. Okay, so if you want to basically get 5 elements out of the list, you basically, this is nothing but exactly again 1 minus of it. So 0 to 4 is nothing but 5 elements in the list. If I need only 4 elements in the list, all right, 0 to 4, right? So when I say 0 to 4, from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So for the upper number, it is always 1 minus of it. That becomes your index. Okay, so if I have to get, for example, you guys can have your answer on your own. If I have to get from the first element until the 7th element, what should I write here? I should write 8. Okay, so from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Until then, you get the output here. So in case if you want to basically get a range of numbers, you basically have to specify the syntax like this with colon as a differentiator. All right. So now let me also show you, if I have to get the numbers from 30 to 10, what does it mean? The index of this is 2 and the index of this is 4. So what should be my command here? Starting from 2, okay, because I want until 4, right? Because I wanted until 4, I have to write it here as 5. So now if I command execute this, see exactly from the second element until, because I gave 2 here, I'm sorry, you are getting the third element. Because I wanted from the second element, I have to write here as 1, not 2. So from the second element, that is 1, until the 5, 5 is nothing but until 4. Okay, that's it. So please remember this. This will be quite confusing for the first time when you want to code, but this is basic of Python programming. Okay, if you are giving a range, this upper range should be subtracted with 1, and that is the range of numbers that you are going to see as an output. Okay, now you guys tell me, if I have to read 40 and if I have to read these 3 elements, what is the index should be? So the starting will be 0, 1, 2, 3. The starting should be 3 and 4, 5, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it should be 3, 6 or 3 colon 6. So let's see. 3 colon 6. See, exactly the one. So this is how you have to practice. 0, 1, 2, 3. So from here I wanted to start. So the first in the range is always 3. Okay. But I have to say 3, 4, 5. This is the upper element, right? I wanted to include this also in my output. So I have to give range adding 1 to that index. So that is my 6. Okay. Now what if you might get a question, I don't basically give any numbers. I just give colon. It is exactly same as without giving anything. So there is no difference between this output and this output. It's exactly one and the same. All right. Now, there is another way to deal with it. There is another way to read the data from the list. So if I say from, for example, 1 to 7 or, okay, so let me do this. I don't do anything, but I give another colon in the syntax. And if I say 1, what does it say? It is exactly the same. See, this syntax is exactly same as this syntax. It's exactly same as this syntax. But what happens if I replace this 1 with 2? When you replace this 1 with 2, in the complete list of the list, it basically gives you every alternate number. Every alternate number is the syntax. So first element will be printed. After that, the alternate number is 30. After that, the alternate number is 10. After that, the alternate number is Orskell. After that, there is no alternate. That's the reason you got it. Now, instead of alternate, you can also specify, I wanted to see every third element in the list. So I say this. So you get the first element. After that, you get the third element from the first element. After the third element, again, you get the third element from the 40th. This is the position. And after that, there is no third element. All right. Now, again, you can limit it in a different fashion also. Between only 0 and 4, that means between 0, 1, 2, 3. That is a 1, right? Between this 2, 3, until these 4 elements, okay? Between 0 and 4, give me alternate numbers. So you see, in all of this list, if I start with 10, the next alternate number is 30. But after 30, the alternate number is 10. But I limited my range here with 0 to 4. So I don't get anything else. Alright. Now if I say similarly colon without using, if I don't use +1, if I say -1, what happens? It exactly reverse the complete list. First becomes class, second element become Oracle, it will come in the reverse order. Instead of +1, if I say -1, exactly the list order has been reversed. Okay, so at this point of time, I'm only explaining you what are the different ways you can read the elements of the list. You might be wondering why and where will I use it. Don't worry, we are going to go there later. Okay, if you don't know what am I doing now, I bet you will not know how to solve the problems, real world problems in the future. Okay, you have seen lot of read operations. Let's do another operations, right? Read or slicing operations I should call. The another set of operations is, can I add the first element to the second element? Yes, absolutely you can. So let me type here. So operations, mathematical operations, right? So I'm sure if it is mathematical operations, you can only perform on a integer values, not on any other values, right? So I would say in the list, perform 0, first element, you add it with probably the fourth element. 3 is fourth element, right? So what is the first element? 10, right? What is the fourth element? 40. So 10 plus 40 is 50. So you can do all of these operations also like this. Subtraction, multiplication, division, whatever you will, have to do in the future. Okay. Next one. For the existing list, can I add a new element into the list? Yes. There are ways to do it. Okay. What are the different ways to add a new element to the list? If I say Oracle adding element, right? So if I say Oracle list 4 and we say plus is equals to, and please add the number 250. Now you see it has been done. This command is nothing but, this is equivalent to whatever is there in the Oracle, you keep it as it is, but add 250 as a list. If you observe carefully, if you wanted to add 250 into the existing list, even that number should be in the squared braces, else it will throw an error. Okay, this command is exactly the same as this command. Instead of you typing the variable name again after the is equals to symbol, Python has given you this flexibility to use this particular symbol instead of that. Okay, either you use this or you use this, it is one and the same. So I'm not executing this and I'm showing you the output. See, 250 has been added in the end. Alright, this is how you can add an element. In case if you don't want to add an element somewhere here, okay, but you wanted to add somewhere in the second position, right? How do you do it? So Oracle dot append, right? Append. Add, 1 second. I have it here. I know I'm going to basically, as we keep seeing, there's a possibility that insert is a command. So insert, this insert command, you have to tell what position it has to insert. So I have to insert in the position number 2, that is nothing but 1. At the position 2, the index number is 1, comma, what is the value? Now I would want to insert 300. Let's see, it is done. Now let me see, 300 has been inserted in the position number 2. The index of position number 2 is 1. Alright, because the indexes starts with 0, etc., etc. That's the reason. Alright. Now this is how you can add an element into the existing list. Either at the end, it is as simple as this. If you want to specify what position you want to insert the element, you have to use insert command. Alright. Now how do you delete an element from the list? I wanted to delete now. I wanted to delete, for example, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wanted to basically delete the 8th element in the list. The index is 7, right? I have multiple ways to do it. One, say del article list 4, and then 8th element is nothing but 7. Now if I see this, it has deleted that element. There is no article in the list now. Okay, this is one way to do it. Another way to do it is article list 4 dot pop. I say pop 3. What happens? Now the 4th element will go away. What is my 4th element here? Yeah, 30 will go away. Let's see. Now again, let's print article list 4. 30 has been gone. Alright, if you want to delete an element, this is one way to do it. This is another way to do it. But this way basically helps you to delete the range of indexes also. For example, I say del article list 4 from 0 to 3. That means 0, 1, 2. Right? All of them 3 numbers. 10, 320. All of these 3 will be deleted. Let's see now. Is that true? Yeah. See? 100, 300, 220. All of these got deleted from the list. So this is another way to do it. Okay. So we now understood what are the different things that we have understood. How to create a list. How to read the elements in the list. How to slice the list. How to reverse the list. Right? And we also know how to add an element into the list. How to delete an element from the list. Right? All of these operations we know. And in case if you know what is the value of it and if you want to remove, you can just say article list 4, right, dot remove. Directly you can say remove hello from the list. It will directly remove it. In case if you don't want to use indexes, you want to use the value names, you can also directly use remove operator there. Alright, so this is all we did. And the last topic for the list by itself is you can add a list inside the list as well. What does it mean? Now I'm creating another list called 5. I'm creating elements inside the list, right? So I would say 10, 20, 30, 40. Now in the 5th element, I am starting another braces. And in here I am saying, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, for example. Now I can create this list. Now what happens? There is a list inside the upper list. So this is called as nested listing. Nested lists. Alright. So if I read the article list and if I say position number 2, what will I get? The 3rd element of the list, right? That is nothing but 30. I get 30 here. We have just learnt it. What if similarly I say, give me, give me, what is this position? Basically the 5th element. Show me the 5th element of the list. 5th element of the list. What is that? Did I give some wrong? Okay. Sorry, 5th element. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Right? So 5th element of the list is nothing but the 4th one, right? So I'm getting a list as an output. What if I wanted to get 0.7 in the output? I wanted to read only 0.7 in the output. As simple as this. Article list 5. The 5th element is nothing but 4. And just give me index number 2. So the index number 2 is 0.7. So you have to give one index for the parent list and another index for the child list. And the outcome of this particular command should be a list. Only then you can pass in another index value of it. So this is called as nested listing. What is nested list, nested functions, nested dictionaries? Having the same object within the another object is called as nested thing. Okay, it's very, very famous because the more complex that you write the program in your real world, you're going to write lot of nested objects. Okay, this is very common in any of the programming languages. Okay, so just to basically recollect what we have just dealt, we have learned how to create a list. It is also called array in another programming languages like Java, right? And also in shell script, etc. So we know how to create a list. What is the syntax? How to count the number of elements in the list, how to read each element of the list, right? how to create nested lists, how to add an element into the list, how to delete existing elements in the list, how to delete the range of elements in the list, etc. So on and so forth. Okay. So with this, the concept of list is completed. Okay. And the next topic for you is dictionary. But probably I'm running out of time for this session. So I'll try to stop here and I'll be open to take up any questions that you guys have. Okay. So yeah, let's see that. See, if you want to replace, you can basically say this. I know what is my index number. Basically, you want to replace this, right? I say, what is the index number of this? It is 1. Now I would say, instead of say, if I directly say, for example, 50. Now you see, this is replace. Let me read the one now. It is as good as if you create a variable with the same name, it will replace the value, right? It is as simple as that. You see the second element has been replaced with 50. Any other questions? Anybody? Yeah. Yes, I can hear you. I think you're breaking out. You're partly coming in and going out. Your voice is not that clear. Yeah, you can. Meanwhile, anybody else have questions, please? You can please type in the chat. I'll take it up. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes, all of these will become the real world problems, right? You basically have to get all the indexes and then for each of the index you go replace the value. Right. True. Thanks. Anybody else? Yeah, Gaurav. Okay. Set of values which is a part of another list, you mean, right? Yeah, it is definitely possible. I would like you to give a try. It is definitely possible. Okay. It is by using this remove. Okay. Just to give you a hint, I have list 1 dot remove give list 2. Whatever elements are there in list 2, those elements will be removed in list 1. Yeah. Okay. Alternate numbers. Yeah, alternate numbers starting from 0, starting from the first one. Yeah. What do you mean by odd numbers? You can basically see it is not even number or odd number. Don't get into that confusion. Odd number of indexes. You mean 1, 3, 5, etc., etc. Basically 3, 5, 7, right? Yeah. I think you have to write a custom program. There is no direct feasibility with the help of these options for you. You have to write a specific program like that. First, the way that you write a program is get the length of the list. Okay. In that length of the list, you first of all identify the odd numbers. And now those odd numbers you have to pass in as an index to this command. Only then you will be getting it. You get the workflow, right? Odd indexes. Yes. So I get you. So what I'm trying to explain is to get the values of odd positions, right? Odd positions or indexes. That's the question, right? Did I understand right? So, for example, my length of my list is basically what? Only four. Okay, length of my list five. It is five, right? First, for between the numbers 0 and 5, basically you will have to write a program to extract uh, from 0 until uh, the length of this, whatever is the number, because it should work with any program, right? So between these two numbers, 0 and this, you have to extract odd numbers first. So what are you basically extracting? You are basically extracting the odd indexes only. Now pass the numbers you extracted above as indexes to read those values. Am I clear now? Right. So you have to write that, customized lines to do that job. Cool. The question that I got on the chat, do we use list to reveal the info or to develop a program? It can be anything. The list is just a group of objects. In the real world, you can use list for any requirements that you might get. So you will see that slowly and steadily as we progress, you often use it at every stage of your programming. All right. Any other questions, please? Yes, no. All right. So basically, I thought I would complete list as well as dictionaries today, but good that went into little slow mode and only covered the list topics. And by the way, whatever is there below, the commands that I have typed, all of this is only for your reference. All of this I have typed for you on the screen, but there are few more things that I have in the bottom. You can also keep trying them and see, just for your practice. Okay. So I hope I have covered everything that I thought on my head to cover in this list, right? Yeah. Cool. I think I covered. Yeah. Before even getting into dictionaries. Somebody has questions? Is it through chat? Okay. Yeah, Trinad, this also works. From one, you can do it from one to anything and then see alternate. This is also a way to do it. Trinad has given you a very simple solution than me. Thanks, Trinad. And Sid had some question. Yeah, Sid had some question. Okay, no, you're fine. Great. Cool. Any other questions, please? All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll cover dictionaries in the next session. That is going to be only on Monday. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.